Today we are going to Sharpie our Piggy Pig pictures. Now, you may see a couple of pieces of paper here with mine, and that's because I don't want the Sharpie to bleed through onto my background here. So it's the same thing with your sketchbook. You may want to put a piece of paper under there, or if you don't care that it bleeds through, then it's fine. You don't need to put a piece of paper underneath there. But if you do, you can pick up a piece of the free draw paper on the counter. So we're going to be using two different Sharpies. We're going to be using the, this one's called Ultra Fine, or excuse me, this was called Fine Point. This is the chubbier one, and this is called Ultra Fine. This is a skinny one. You use this one on small things. So like you see my little birds here, that's where I would go in and I would Sharpie my little birds. So what I'm doing is I'm basically just tracing over what's already there, and then go in like the dots on my bee flying around. Use the ultrafine for that. And for the antennas for my little bee, and maybe when I'm drawing my little bee. So the ultrafine is really used for the small things. And he's got a little stinger right there. And anything you're going to want to be black, you're going to want to go in and you're going to want to color that in solid black. Okay, so I'm going to start with my sky first and then just work my way down. You can do it any way you'd like. And so I'm basically coming in and tracing with Sharpie over the items I've already drawn. And you may want to add some things to your drawing, and that's fine. You can do that with the Sharpie. Like I'm adding these extra little designs. And then I'm going to draw my clouds really quick here. Okay. I'm going to tilt my paper a little bit so it's easier for me to draw. And I like to add things to my drawing. So for instance, my flower petals here, I'm going to go in and add a little line in the flower petal. I'm going to come over here and do this flower. And same thing, add something in there. Try not to draw on the table because it's hard to get Sharpie off the table. I'm going to draw my pig. Now I want my pigs, this part of his eyes, I'm going to want it to be black. So I'm going to fill that in with Sharpie. Okay, and I'm going to draw his little eyebrows. Trace around his body. You should be following along and working on your pig as well. I'm not going to color his spots black because I want his spots to be a different color. But in his mouth, I'm going to want the inside of his mouth to be black. So I'm going to color that in real quick. Okay, awesome. I'm going to do his feet, his legs, or his arms, I should say. He's got a spot there. And his hooves, I'm going to want to be black as well. Now, you don't have to do what I'm doing. Your hooves could be pink if you wanted them to be pink. But this just gives a nice Just kind of pops out. It makes it picture pop. Okay, so I forgot to do his tail, so I'm going to do his tail. And then now I have these items down here to do as well. So I'm going to move this up and go in and add my grass. I'm going to add my little mud splashes. And I'd like to add that little ring in there or a little line in there. And I'm going to add my mud. And then I like to add these little wavy lines in it. Kind of helps it to make it look a little bit more like water. So I'm done with this, and so I'm going to take my ultrafine Sharpie, and now I'm going to go up to my clouds, and I'm going to add some shading to one side. So you want to go in and you want to add some little details onto your picture. It makes it more interesting for people to look at, and it makes it look, I don't know, more charismatic. Like people like to see things that are different and interesting. And so for his spots, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some diagonal lines here just to make it look different than other people's. And then in the grass, I'm going to come in and put some lines in my grass. So you're going to want to go in and add some little details of your own. You can use the details I've done here, or you could create your own details. Okay. Now, I'm all finished drawing, so the last step is that I need to erase all of the pencil mark on here. So I'm going to grab the big eraser, and I'm going to start from the top, and I'm going to work all the way down, making sure to hold your hand down on the sketchbook so that the paper doesn't rip. And some of the areas, depending on how hard you push down with the pencil, some of the areas, it doesn't matter how hard you press down that eraser, that pencil just looks like it's not coming up. That's called residue. Like right here, I have pencil that's still showing. And no matter how hard I erase, it's not coming out. That's because I pressed down really hard when I was drawing. And so I'm just working my way down, going across everything that I drew with a pencil, trying not to wrinkle up my paper, but I'm not doing too good of a job of it right now. Okay, so once you're done with this, you are finished with this part for the day. And now what you're going to do is you're going to hold this up and take a picture of it in the graded sketchbook, and then you're finished for the day. So once you're finished, then you're allowed to go to the free draw area and do some free draw in your sketchbook.